don't know if that's something that you can help with. Okay, Bill, are you with us?
I am with you.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Palm Springs, beautiful Palm Springs, California.
Well, it doesn't look like you're right down the road, but it's good that you are. And what question do you have for me, sir?
Well, we have an organization, foundation. We provide media access to the world's change makers. We do global broadcast, television programming, special events, media campaigns. We're growing this to an actual vehicle, which would be an overarching media platform, so that we can really service all these folks.
Hey, Bill, who's the we you're referring to?
The we is our partners. We work with the people of Pathways to Peace and the Culture of Peace Initiative, and many.
What's your company name?
It's called Unity Foundation, and it's unityfoundation.org.
Great.
And we've been around for 37 years.
Terrific. Okay, thank you. Very clear. What question do you have for me, sir?
Well, we're putting all this machinery together. We've got all these fabulous tools to promote people, and yet the funding part of it is not in place. And I think even though we're really good at manifesting like events or global broadcasts or television programming, we haven't been that successful at generating the capital to fund this next platform.
Why is that?
I think that a lot of us come from a background from the 60s and 70s where there was you get my drift, right?
I'm laughing. Go ahead. And what do you think the issue is?
Well, I think that we need to begin to partner with people that maybe have a different worldview, not necessarily a negative worldview, but a worldview more balanced in terms of the financial end of things rather than just the cultural, humanitarian things.
Next week's show, for those of you that didn't hear in the beginning, next week is a birthday celebration for Marcia. And on that show, we're going to be hearing from many people who were at our Wealthy Visionary Conference. And we're going to hear all kinds of successes. We had so many people that had brilliant ideas and concepts, and like you, a generous heart and a commitment to make the world a better place, who had never asked for money. And, you know, the idea actually of, you know, a wealthy visionary was even a little like, I'm not wealthy and I'm not a visionary. You know, but like you, you're shaking your head. I have to put you on screen here. You're shaking your head, right? You know, people are like, I'm not wealthy and I'm not a visionary. But with greater wealth, we have more resources. Obviously, you're feeling this yourself. And we can make a greater contribution. So the first thing I want to say is make sure that you join us for next week, not only to celebrate Marcia's birthday party, but to hear the success stories and to hear how a lot of them went from having no money to really generating the kind of resources they needed to make this happen. The second thing I want to say is that I really acknowledge you that you're realizing in order to take your life and this organization to another level, you've got to be willing to play a bigger game. Is that what I hear you saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, do you have access to the kinds of people that you believe that can really contribute the resources that you need to take your organization to the next level? Are you playing in the right circles?
We have a few contacts, but we really need to play a bigger game in a bigger circle.
Yeah. One of our speakers last year was Peter Diamandis, who created the X Prize. Are you familiar with Peter's work?
Absolutely.
So you might want to consider coming to the Wealthy Visionary Conference. It'll be in LA next year, and I'll be talking more about that in the weeks to come. But it's really critical, you know, meanwhile, that you get yourself ready. So the ability to practice, so, you know, really, the way to enroll somebody, there's the inner path and the outer path. The inner is what I call the 4 C's. You have to connect to what you care about, and people need to feel that you care about it. By you actually caring about it, the more you care, the more I'm going to care. So this is something, obviously, that really does matter to you, yes?
Absolutely.
And why? Tell me why you care about this cause.
Because I feel a passion that many of these organizations that are doing such good work around the world do not have access to the media, do not have access to promoting themselves and their positive work throughout the world, which would then generate more income for them, more visibility, and more credibility.
I love you. I'm just loving you right in this moment. Here, let me put me on stage. I'll give you a mwah. throwing you a kiss because I feel your heart, and that's really very compelling and very enrolling. So, by the way, you should also look up creativevisions.org, an organization started by my dear friend Kathy Eldon when her young son, who was a photojournalist, was caught in the wrong place. I think I can't remember now if it was Somalia or Afghanistan, but many, many years ago, and actually was stoned to death. And she started an organization that's really here to support the media and young activists and journalists in using the media to impact their countries. So creativevisions.org. But let's get back to the enrollment process. The one, you have to connect to what you care. Two is you need to have clarity about what it is that you're doing in a way where you can express it to others. Number three, you need to communicate it with clarity. And number four, you need to offer a compelling invitation for people to join you, either to sign up as volunteers or to contribute resources or to write you a check. So those are the 4 C's, right? Connect to what you care about, clearly communicate a compelling invitation. And then the outer steps in the enrollment process is you establish rapport, which is, when people like you and trust you, they're more likely to contribute to you. Number 2, you build value, which you're very good at. Number 3, you overcome objections by doing more of 1 and 2, more rapport and more value. And finally, step number 4, you come to an agreement of what you're going to do together. And, it all comes back to this, what I talked about in my opening story with the Girl Scouts, your ability to make specific requests and make it easy for people to say yes. So what did you just learn, Bill, from my teaching, which is a little more teaching than coaching, but what did you learn?
Well, I think the last thing was the most important one about which you started off with also, which is the whole thing about making it easy for people to become involved.
That's right.
And being clear, being absolutely clear about what it is you want, where you're going, what you're building towards, and how their involvement can help you in that growth and thereby make them feel better as a human being.
That's beautifully articulated. You get an A+. So when you leave here, I'm going to bounce you off in a second. What I invite you to do is just go over to where the show is being watched live. I think it's under the MarciaWiederShow.com. And in the comments section, let us know about who you are and what you're doing. And then make a commitment within 1 week, we call that a wow, that by next week's birthday show, you're going to have, your value statement, your value proposition written out. Everybody, that's the single most important thing. Your ability to articulate what you're doing in a way that touches other people because it's valuable for them. That's really core and foundational to building your dream team. And whether you're looking for investors for money or you're looking for volunteers to join you, out in the field or something in between, your ability to act like a visionary, you know what I mean, Bill?
Absolutely.
To share your vision with clarity and passion, to inspire other people to join you, to make specific requests. You look pretty happy. So what's going to be your wow within 1 week? What step are you going to take?
Well, just to really solidify, I have a pretty good idea already, but just solidify what I'm asking for and how people can be involved and to be passionate, more passionate, and to just to really be coming from that place of guidance all the time.
Yes, and I know there's an old hippie inside of you.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
And as old hippies, a lot of us didn't want to impose. We wanted to lay back, but that the world's a mess, and the world needs us, especially as elders, to pick up the torch and lead the way. Are you ready to do that?
Absolutely. That's what my life is about.
I love that. So my birthday wish to you and to everybody is that you'll join me next week to actually share my birthday wish, to share your successes, and to really make progress in moving this important cause forward. Are you game?
I am game. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It was wonderful having you on. I'll look forward to having you back.
All right.
Thank you. Okay, Sue Kennedy, we're coming to you here. Oops, let's see. We don't have a great signal. We're going to give it a shot and see what happens here, Sue. So I'm going to say goodbye to Bill. And Sue, are you unmuted?
I am now.
You are. We have we'll see if the signal clears up. It's very staticky and you're very fuzzy. Jump in and ask a question and I'll do my best